Okay, so I haven't done this before, so please be patient. I'm going to start with just basic stuff. I'm using PicsArt. It's the one that I have found that does pretty much everything and has a decent amount of texts, fonts, that kind of thing. So let's start with text. You can see my little cursor here. I'm going to go down here to text, and then I'm going to work on combine and save. So because I have a Note 5, it's easy to type this way for me. So then I'm going to go up here to my check, save that, make it bigger. Down here I can scroll. I want kind of a fun font. So let's see, I'm going to keep going over. Let's use this one. That's kind of fun. And then down here I can change my color. I can make it that color. I don't love that. Or I can come back here, click on the little picker up guy and move it up here. Sorry. And let's pick up this green. Okay, then we can just move this up here. This isn't going to be exactly how I want it, but you'll get the idea of what's going on. Okay. And if this is on a background, like say I put that there and you can't read it because it's over all the birds. Let's make it a little smaller and move it over. Okay. I'm going down here, whoops, sorry, to stroke. And I'm going to change the color to, yeah, it just goes automatically to black. I can change it to weird just so you can see the different colors. Okay, let's go back to black. And then thickness, I can make it super thick, or I can put it down here so it's not so bad, but you can still read that completely. So let's leave that on there just because. I'll move it down a little bit, I think, so you can see the eyes. Okay, and then over here, there's a thing, there's other things on here too. You can change the orientation to vertical. So now it's like that. So if you wanted to put that like over somewhere, so you know what that is, let me change it back, put it back up here. Bend it depending on which way you want to go. That's kind of cool. Now I just got to make sure I get it back to where it was. Okay, and shadow, that was the other thing. That just makes a little shadow. Let's see if we can find a color that's obnoxious enough that you'll be able to see it. Let's do blue maybe. Blue. And then put it to the side. Let's see. The color does not look very... I put it down here. Oh, there you go. Now you can see it a little better. You can see the blue shadow just a little bit. Let's see if I do pink. If you'll... No, you probably aren't going to be able to see that as well. Red. You can see it a little bit. It just gives it a tiny bit of a shadow. But I don't want that on there. So I'm going to say none. Okay, let's move this back up here. Okay. So that's decent. I'm going to check mark it up here and say, okay, I'm done with that part. So now I'm going down to my menu down here. I'm going to add a photo because that is where all my pictures are. These are all ones I recently downloaded from the marketing on the workstation. So let's start out with easy ones. Let's see. It should be, this one should be pretty easy. And you can add a bunch at a time and cut them out, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. Do this and this. Now this white one's going to be a little harder, but we'll add it. Okay, so we went up here and we added all 4 of them. Okay, now they're all just, they're like hovering. I can pick any one I want. So I'm going to pick this guy. No, let's do the easy one first. That one. Now, and go over here and we're going to cut it out. So you can change this. This is your size of your brush. I normally like it kind of on the small side. I just outline it, is how I do this. I have a shake, so excuse me, I am not good at things that take a lot of detail. It's a hereditary thing, and yeah, anyway. Okay, then we're just going to color it in. Then here, let's make this bigger, make it go quicker. Come on, little guy, there we go. Okay, now it's easier to color it in when he's bigger. Okay, and it doesn't matter that I'm not perfect, because as you will see in a minute, okay, I'm going up here to this go forward. That is now my cutout. But I want to see what I've missed. See, now I can see areas that are white that it thought, oh, that's part of the background. You don't want that. So I'm going to use the brush here. Once again, it goes automatically to this size, and I don't, that's going to be too big. So I'm going to make it smaller and just fill that in. Okay, and then if I mess it up, I can make it back to the other size. It takes a little bit. It's not horrible, but it does take a little bit. And some of them automatically just do a great job, and you don't have to mess with them at all. But some, it takes just a little bit of time. And I suppose if you don't have a stylus, it would be even harder. This is why I love my stylus. Okay, that's pretty decent. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be so much smaller. So then I'm going up here to the top right, and I'm going to say save. So there it is. Okay, so let's do this white one because it's going to be harder. Well, actually, let's do this one. I'm sorry. Let's cut that out. Hopefully that won't be so bad. I will probably have to cut out that little white area. I'm going to color this in. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, go down to little size. I think it's gonna, okay, that's pretty good. Come on. All right, now we're gonna go on to the next one. See, here at the bottom, I have some white sitting there and around those handles. So I'm gonna see what I'm doing. It's easier for me to see that way. And I'm gonna erase some of this at the bottom. Oops. Getting it way too big. I have found that it's important to have your auto rotate off because that can mess a lot of this up. So just so you, it's not bad, but it does make things a little more difficult, that's for sure. Okay, I'm gonna make that a little smaller so I can get into these, nope, wrong one. Little areas here. And say, and if you pick up your pen or your finger, whatever you're using, every so often, the reason why is, say I'm going along and this looks really good, but I get too far in. When I go to reverse it, up at the top, it takes the whole thing. Whereas if I were just to do a little bit, and then do a little bit more, and then a little more, if I pick up my pen more often, when I go back and put it in, it does it by step. So that way you don't have to go back too far. You've made progress and you don't want to lose that. Okay. This doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just trying to get it kind of how I want it. That looks like it's going to be pretty close there. I think, let's see, I'm going to have have to draw just a tiny little bit up here. I think I lost my wire. All right, that's decent. Okay, so there you have it. That kind of gives you an idea. Let's do this one just because it's a little harder, most likely because of the white. But you've seen what I do, so you get the idea. I'll show you here in a second. You don't have to take that if you don't want to. Okay. Wow, it did that really nicely. Okay. You can, if you're like working on an area, you can make it bigger so you can really get in good details. So let's save that one. One more thing I want to show you is once you do these, up at the very top in the middle, this plus sign, it's a drop down, so I can add texts and that kind of stuff from here, because it is like you're in this area that like you can't draw a box or put a border around it from this area. So get your flyer however you want it before you move on. So far I haven't figured out a way how to edit in progress. You know, like you have a finished product and that's kind of it. But here at the bottom I can add a photo if I wanted to, so I could go down and add something if I wanted to, but we've already done that, so let's go back up here and X that out. I want to show you that these have all become stickers now. These are my stickers. So all of these, if I wanted to put one in here, it is already cut out and a sticker. So that's what your photo becomes, a sticker, and then they're all already in there. So once you've done them, they're in your PicsArt gallery, basically under sticker. So there you have it. I hope that helps.